Ladies and gentlemen, grubs and worms, let's play The Outer Worlds 2. Heavily modded OP playthrough. Alright. So, let's see. Let's go back. Let's go talk to Abbott Newall. Anatoly.
Sorry. Got a bad feel about this line, huh?
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return?
Well, I haven't seen this many folks crammed together since recalled libations night at my wrestling. They smelled about the same, too.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions, and I haven't any time for idle chatter. But
Give me all your goodies. I shall buy it all. Thank you.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of... Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, one a scintillant apologies. I adopted this approach in an effort to be efficient, not impatient or rude. Infrastructure requests from the displaced exceed present resource capacity. The mounting accumulation of prevailing desideratum is regrettably beyond us. Or beyond me, more to the point. I am simply one person, impossibly stretched thin, and unable to attend to the needs of the displaced. Why, yes. And here I assumed I was speaking to a, no offense, layperson. Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone? The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's mercy, and rightfully off limits. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely, but the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. We can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold? I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. It must work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself if you aren't already acquainted. Any questions before you get started? Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an Order barricade. These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
defy the law. It's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot... Thank the architect. I knew you'd be back. Well, really, it was the seer that knew, but it is all... Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the seer predicted an outsider would find them. You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
Okay.
You're right. The universe does not orient it.
I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers, elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow?
No, definitely don't.
True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized Order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
Start using smaller words or I'm going to start using bullets.
In the future, a simple no will suffice. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Victor is dedicated. Single-minded, one could say. I've always thought highly of his analytical skills as a researcher. Less so his social ones, perhaps. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order. Whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Earth Directorate Agent is just a title. I'd seek to know who you are beyond that bit of headline.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence. But if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
He's got us there, Commander.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Well, please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable... In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these...
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal... Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Why, Matriarch's mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. Not if you consider the alternative. Its absence would be far more catastrophic for these poor refugees. Really, the Order... That is a statue of the Matriarch. Alexandra Ver... Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-Order members at the moment, given recent troubles.
Oh, certainly. According to my...
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a...
We need to help the folk at Opportunity, Commander. Boy the Abbot. He's more concerned with exonerating his own than with...
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. I was once considered quite the up-and-comer in the Department of Invasive Marketing. Looked down on all the bottom rungers and have-nots. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. Oh, so that's how it is. You're the mediator that was The Order wants us to believe that a catastrophe is coming to the exclusion zone at any second. What? Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Thank you. That's what I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe... What does the administrant want? To shut me up? To discredit me? I don't know what the administrant's game is, but the best thing you can do is introduce yourself around camp. See why we need the exclusion zones open. Huh. I didn't realize we were negotiating. You'll get your little bribe once you rule in my favor. Just don't let me...
Wow, there's a lot of people.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the Abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack. Could be that he's sincere, or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, I'd want to know for... Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. That's the burden of being competent. Everyone while we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. That's a rotten thing to say. Good don't mean much against a 5-ton sucker punch. We should move on, unless you've got something for me?
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an 8.23 margin of error that our...
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest... granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah. I reckon that's good. 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 I'm most focused on what's relevant to me these days. I used to listen to the wireless, read periodicals. Well, that first time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. I mean, if you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that few times I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my late...
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. Have you spoken to all rep... Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests.
What happened to this place? The law. Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst...
The paradigm. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an app. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests. Yes, I reckon I do suppose I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic. Oh dear, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations I am single-handedly making a difference here. With constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little... Perhaps some other time we can...
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Yeah.
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment. Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? They must be exceptionally pleased with it. According to life outside sees increased risks. We have diverted, but if my data remains unconvinced, then back to...
Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore. We all have reasons to.
Really? What was yours?
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. Well, that is the... I've gotten sick at least a dozen times. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat... What are you, a doctor? Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So, I'm practicing for my next disease. It's good. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. Well, ain't this help? If it's bits you want, you have my gratitude, stranger. I think sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous. You too.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
Great. Don't tell me you're one of those drones from Auntie's Choice.
Easy, friend. We're all in this together.
You just keep your distance.
Broke my nose last scrap. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this what does she call it?
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her map.
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my pallet, or that's my air. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. And sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what we say, whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. Idle browser... Sub-Rosa, what fine contraband might I supply you with this day? It's superb cup myself. I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's Mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Agreed. You do well in Sub-Rosa. We stand that we'd beyond that. We've still got folks we care about up.
I've got no qualms with you, friend.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to our
Wish. Invaders.
Sorry. Got some kind of tickle in my chest.
All right, Anatoly.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
alive, Commander.
Making
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Wow, this place is cool.
Hope you're settling into the cognito all right. You got everything you need?
Almost. Ever thought about bringing an Auntie's Choice vending machine on board? I ain't all that agreeable if I'm without my snacks.
I've got to introduce you to this novel appliance. Name of a refrigerator. You can store and draw from it without ever paying a bit.
Everyone knows a morsel tastes that much sweeter if you gotta pay a premium for it.
All right, who's...
Wonder if I can jump across the stream up here. Yep. Alright, since I'm here, let's go the other way. This looks cool. Is there nothing here? Okay.
Damn this dust! Stay back! Oh, wait. You aren't one of those damn scrappers. Perhaps it was fate you met me here. A capable sort like you is akin to an oasis in a hellish wasteland. So might you be willing to help an old, injured man with a simple task? Do I look like the fight-picking sort to you? It pains me to think this injury is enough for you to cast aspersions onto me. I was injured attempting to scale that cliff face to the estate. Wouldn't do to have a fresh wound out in the open, where anything might happen upon me. See, I came here to salvage my, memoir manuscripts. I left some files behind when I fled the estate after the war broke out. If you're keen to help, one file's in a locker in the tram station. The other's in the mansion, in the late vigilance quarters. Simple to collect, once you get past the scrappers. Thank you kindly for the I've already imbibed enough tubes of antibiotics.
Well, sounds like he's got the painkillers and sedation covered on his end.
Indeed. I'm breathless at the thought that I might never get my manuscripts back. Will you help me or won't you? Oh, bless your kindly nature. Silly old fool, coming here without aid. Lucky to leave here alive.
Horrid walk back. Best get Adrena time for it.
Let me handle this.
Take care not to slip. A fall from that height wouldn't be pretty.
Liquidate him!
Let's get rid of these fools so we can enjoy the view.
Alright. Let's go take care of this the right way.
Error. Navigation systems offline. Unable to locate designated
This unit
path.
is currently... Greetings. This unit is unable to fulfill its programming. This unit must return to Matriarch's navigation processing optimal path toward Matriarch's mercy. Return sequence will be initiated once path is determined. Clarification of purpose confirmed. This unit will... Thank you.
Alright. Now let's go scale the mountain.
Being this close. Anyway. Need something, Commander? Sure.
Looking for something with like a scope.
Sure. Anyway. Need something? Sure. Anyway. Need something, Commander? Sure. can't get anywhere. Need something, Commander? Sure.
Okay.
Heads up.
Time to earn my commission.
Alright, let's go back up.
You could sell everything here and still not have enough to buy a can of pork. Almost feel bad for him.
Hostile state.
Without my Trinitime.
One thing about Arcadians is they know how to build. Back on Tau Ceti, all we had was a minecart to push each other around in. What I wouldn't give for a little public transport right about now.
Not talking much. I'm really enthralled. Enjoying it. Let's see. Whoa, careful.
Sure, it's pretty now, but have we considered what it might look like on fire?
There's a strange sort of humor in the onset of the first war in Arcadia's history, within a few days of my being assigned here. As far from Protectorate society as possible, Golden Ridge suffers under an invading force, and moreover, it appears that our Order colleagues have betrayed us. At first, I lamented my isolation, but I've realized I was where I needed to be of service. The scores of abandoned subjects need a leader. I have enlisted the staff at these estates to help accept the first influx of still loyal Protectorate refugees. More shall come. I shall lead them out of the shadows and into the light. For the good of the Protectorate. This is my calling.
Ah, you've returned in one piece. Did you, perchance, acquire those? Oh, don't you worry about that. Ah, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. My handlers will be mighty pleased with these indeed. You're acquainted with us then, and you still hadn't managed to connect the proverbial... Oh, Spider is mighty good at keeping secrets. All I can divulge is that valuable data, like this here, always paves the way to lucrative business ventures. I did, and why not? You think I'd use my given name in the midst of a hype? Anyhow, here's your payment for... Been watching the Scrappers for a while. They stick to raids, nothing big or risky. All the Sentinels work in secret, but someone somewhere gave the Scrappers word that he was coming and bringing trouble with him. They killed him upon his arrival, of course. The Protectorate'll do anything to bring defectors to heel. They're getting desperate. Lucky for this lot, someone has a vested interest in preserving their freedom.
All right. Might be able to weave around. Actually, we'll call it on this one and work on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, grubs and worms, thank you for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.